Simmons from Cardinal Instruments out in Austin, Texas. Sam, thank you very much for being with us, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve, you want to get started?
Yeah, so
you are.
Yeah, so Cardinal Instruments. I mean, you're making some great-looking guitars. Looks like you got a pedal out now and some hardware. Just give us a little bit of background about kind of where Cardinal started and how you got going in this.
Cardinal started here in Austin about 13 years ago. I'd been a builder, semi-repair guy out of college. What am I going to do? And was sitting on the couch one evening and decided that I have not just the skill set, but I have the tools to do this myself. That took a lot of guts and stupidity, mostly the former, because I had the guts to see that I really was throwing myself into the deep end.
Sure.
I enlisted the help of my dad. He's an ex-engineer, and it was all, we'll go for the basic stuff, just from using the tools, the hand tools, the power tools, so on and so forth, whether it's a bandsaw, a joiner, anything like that. I've been using that since I was, 10 years old. So it wasn't unfamiliar. I've been a player for 38 years, done all my own work. Once I figured out that a lot of folks out there back in the 80s really just didn't know what they were doing. They were just restringing guitars and saying it was a setup,
Yep.
And I said, well, that cost me $30 in 1986, and that's beer money.
Yeah. Some places are still doing that for a lot more these days.
Yeah, I know that. I've hitched my wagon to quite a few builders, repair guys out there that are, as genuine as it comes, and guys that I have no qualms about sending people to, because I'm not necessarily doing repairs. I'll do setups for folks or minor things like that, but I have a good relationship with those guys, and we learn from each other.
Yeah.
And in the end, the customer is the winner. So you spend money with them, you spend money with me, you get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I mean, I don't want to. If you want the whole story, the whole Cardinal story, it really is. It was just I had an idea, and I wanted to make it local, which it has been.
Yeah.
My hardware is machined in my neighborhood, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk to go pick stuff up and to go work with Michael at Armadillo Machine Works. I adopted the cat he found. I mean, it's a neighborhood gig. It really is.
Yeah.
It's also, for better or worse, it's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And as you are obviously well aware, this is a very conservative business when it comes to what you can make and what you can put six strings on.
Sure.
Period.
Yeah.
So for me to go out and reference designs that date from the late 19th, earliest 20th century that never made it into the light of the electric guitar world, I really shot myself in the foot on that, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just going to make another Tele, even though I might. Because I love Telecasters, so I've already answered your question, Steve.
There you go.
For me, that was the only way to make something that was new, or make something that was interesting, or to make something that was, hey, that's cool, or hey, I would never use that, but it's still cool, or oh my God, that looks like shit. Yeah, well, I'm good with all of that.
Yeah.
Because I can't change what I'm going to do. This is what I do. I don't pander, at least I try not to.
Yep.
But, as I say, I answer the phones, I make the guitars, I clean the toilets, and I talk to the customers. Mm-hmm. So when there's a problem, they're talking to me.
Yeah.
Right.
So where they say all you have is your honor, I guess. All you have is your self-worth. I mean, like,
sure.
They're tied into the instrument, so it can't be some, you do the best you can. And then you close the case, you put it in the box, and you tell the FedEx guy to be very careful.
Yep. And always get insurance.
Yeah, I do. I just shipped one of the old Redbirds the other day to a good Cardinal customer of mine, and he was like, "Man, the neck pulled out," and I was like, he's got skills. He said, "Well, can I just dowel the holes and re-drill and put new screws?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to send it to me, and that's what I'm going to do." I said, "Or I can give you your money back." And he's like, "Oh, no. I don't want my money back." I was like, "Okay, well, it's cool." So, yeah, come on, FedEx. What the hell?
We've all had our stories with FedEx, so.
Sure.
Right, and you know what? If I had to count every, the hundreds of deliveries that they have done for me, they are overwhelmingly positive, either on time, and obviously with all the bullshit that's going on, in this past year,
Sure.
I will cut them all the slack they need, and so people can yell at them and then get mad at them and so on and so forth, and in some cases rightfully so, but damn it, I pack those things, they're double boxed, the neck is never touching the edge of the box, like if it gets damaged, it really is on FedEx. Rarely have I had a damage. So yeah.
There you go.
Go ahead.
So your designs, I mean, you kind of alluded to it, but you reference some really early designs that you said didn't really make it to electric guitars, and you're using some non-traditional tone wood. So how'd you put all those pieces together to come up with what you're making?
Well, my undergrad is in biology here at I got the university's behind me about 3/4 of a mile. And I was part of those studies were in botany, so I did my share of rudimentary knowledge of wood from the molecular point and standpoint, and then points then going forward. Sure. So I understood I understood what cellulose was and hemicellulose, and I know what lignin is. That's what makes it wood. And I mean, I'm literally remembering all this stuff from the professors. And I realized that there's so much more out there that was sustainable, that was unique to my area. And that was like one of the tenets in biology was regionalism. Like they grow a different grapefruit down in the valley here in Texas than they do anywhere else, because that's where it excels. So if there's a grapefruit plague out in California, it doesn't affect Texas. Mm-hmm. And that's a good survival strategy, right? And that's what I wanted for the woods. It was like, man, there's so much pecan around here. There's literally 3 giant trees on my property right now. Yes, I am eyeballing them, and yes, they're afraid of me. But the cool thing about pecan is that it's so closely related to walnut. Nobody blinks an eye at a Rickenbacker with walnut on it. Nope. So if I've got some clean piece of pecan, or not so clean, I prefer not so clean, that's as stable, as resonant, and arguably is beautiful, then why not? Yeah. And the why not is, we go back to what we talked to before. The people are so set in their ways, and a good buddy of mine, Adam at Satellite Amplifiers, always telling the story about the tele guy freaking out on me because I didn't have the right screws for the pick guards, because they were supposed to be, they were Phillips head screws. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, this thing was made in Indonesia. Yeah. I'm not knocking your guitar, but you really are missing the trick here. Mm-hmm. How about you not focus on the screws and go play the damn thing for 15 minutes, and why don't you go practice? Yeah. Why don't you get some practice in, instead of worrying about screws? But that's the world we live in, so not judging. It's like, okay, you want me to use these screws? No, still not doing it.
So how'd your pedal come about? That's the cardinalis, correct?
Yeah, that was again, Adam. I'll say this real quick. If Adam lived in Austin, we would get no work done. All we would do is just drink coffee and talk, and then have our spouses come home and go, pretty sure you need to put pants on. Like, get to work. you know. So we're pretty tight. We've known each other for about 11 years now. But he had built a pedal that was a riff on the old Dan Armstrong blue Clipper. It was called the Black Clipper.
Yeah.
And he did like a run of 100, and I said, hey, this is the best. Best is terrible. That is the wrong word to use. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
All right, better. Yeah. Distortion pedal, and it is a distortion. Everybody wants to say overdrive and boost and all that crap. That's fine, whatever. It's clipping, it's distortion. I said, but I need this, and this. And I'd taken it out, and I said, I know what this is. I said, can we do this here? And a package showed up like a week later.
Yeah.
And that was the prototype. And the only thing, I worked with the folks over at Austin Guitar House, and they loved it, but they were like, dude, it needs a tone knob. I said, well, you have one of those on your guitar? And they were like, I'm just telling you. They're like, we know the market. You're an idiot. And I was like, true. Check. But, okay, so we had to go back to it. It took me 6 months to figure out how I wanted to work the tone circuit. It's super simple. It's not magic, right? So finally got that done, and then I enlisted my daughter. I was like, we're going to do a run of 25, and they're hand-painted by you, and I'll pay you, nice. Right? You know, so she did all the artwork, and I don't really advertise them that very much. They're on the new website now, but we're about halfway through the run, you know, and then we'll go back to like a maybe a powder-coated chassis, with just something simple, but something very cardinal, whether it's patinaed or whatever I decide to do. Yeah. But I'll leave you with this on that. It's basically like your amp, and you set your amp how you want it, and then you dial the pedal in to have a boosted, distorted, overdriven channel 2. It is so literally transparent that a lot of folks aren't going to like it, because they're like, oh, I love how I have my amp here, and I still suck. And then you're going to hit the pedal, and it's like, and you suck more and louder. Like, I can't fix that for you. Yep. But if you really like how much you suck or how great you are, and you want it louder, here you go.
There you go, yeah.
But if you want a pedal that's going to make your amp sound like a JTM 45 or an old Tweed or something, this ain't your pedal. And I have to have that conversation with folks. They're like, well, what I'm looking for, and I was like, let me save you some trouble, boss. Yep. Let me save you some trouble. This is what it does, and this is what it costs.
There you go.
Yeah. And I make them in-house. Everything's done in-house. I'm drilling boxes, high-end parts, as high-end as you can get, and they're all hand-wired. I do have a really great PC board, motherboard for the IC. So, and Michael at Armadillo, he's custom making the knobs for it.
Yeah, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought so too, right?
Awesome. And you've got your own line of hardware too, right? And that's working with Armadillo a bit.
Yeah, Michael, we just have gone back and forth so many times over the years, and he said, man, why don't you just sell this stuff? He said, I only make this for you, and when people ask me about it, I send them to you. Like, it's not on his website.
Yeah, right.
So there's one bridge in particular that is unique to me, and Michael has been like, that's yours, man. I don't sell that bridge. He said, if they want it, they have to go to you. And again, nobody really knows about it. I'm the really small guy in a giant ocean, but
sure.
People see it and they're like, wow, that's cool. Will it work on a? No. Can I put it on? No, this is just something if you're maybe doing a build and you wanted to build around this bridge. So a lot of people, most folks aren't going to want to pick that up.
Yeah.
But the tele-style bridges, those are direct replacements. I can go through his attention to detail and the quality of his materials is just through the roof. When you see it and you feel it, and the first thing you recognize is that it's actually the bridge plate's flat. Oh, shocking! It's flat. It's dead flat. Go check that stamp bridge plate and watch that thing wobble like a canoe at the lake.
Right. Right.
So and the knob designs and so on and so forth. I kind of spitballed a bunch of stuff up there for the site. I'm doing the big announcement for, hey, the site's up. We're still working out an SSL issue with one of the browsers, but it's ready. It's ready to go. We've got some advertising coming. You realize it is the royal we. So when I say we, I mean me.
Yeah. But
advertising, a little bit of a marketing blitz, I guess. I mean, I'm on Instagram, obviously, and I'll cross-pollinate over to Facebook. Facebook, believe it or not, really is not the demographic you would expect. But it's so funny because you're talking about the knobs. It's not old guys on Facebook. It's young guys on Facebook.
Huh.
They message me there. The DMs that I get on here, I'm pointing at my phone, sorry, on Instagram, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
As far as the demographic is concerned. So, but who's buying the knobs? Everybody. Who's buying the guitars? Not everybody. You know, like they hey man, it's cool, but you know, $4,200 is out of my price range. So it's like, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Get a set of knobs. They're right over there.
There you go. So what's next for Cardinal?
Well, what I definitely, and this will be the year for sure because it's already begun. You know, everything that I've done to this point, I basically said none of this is in stone. Meaning, so like the East model that I have, that's my original model.
Yep.
That has turned into something I never thought it would turn into, and it's just reached this acme, this pinnacle, if you will. And I don't want it to change. 25.5-inch scale length, 22 frets, tremolo, dual humbuckers, a copper top. You know, and that is the way that guitar is going to be. And a mahogany neck, mahogany body. Not a local wood, obviously, but technically I can get out here and I can walk to Honduras. I can walk to Honduras. So in my neighborhood's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
So, but I say that, but I'm, you know, put the little asterisk and go, subject to the whims of the moron who runs the company. You know, like but I have to be smart enough to recognize that, hey, sometimes you got it. Don't mess with it. Just leave it alone. But I can't say that for the Magpie and the Bantam. I really need those to go to a hollow body and a semi-hollow body design. Basically an acoustic in that regard, with a pickup in it. I got people throwing money at me to make an acoustic, something that would be unique to me. Well, they're throwing fake money at me, but you know what I mean. She's like, if you'll do it, I was like, yeah. But that's time, you know. And then probably the last thing would be, I have to get my arch top built. I got to get it done. And it's been sitting. I've got the forms. I got everything out there, and it's just there's yet another Bobcat that needs to be refurbished because I just can't say no. And you know, it's like I got to go do I got to go do some hard work this year. You know,
Gotcha.
And I got to sell more guitars. I mean, you know, I've got three dealers, and you know, money's tight right now. So for I try to help folks out as much as I can, but you know. Money's tight for me too.
Amen. Yeah.
Absolutely. We ready to jump into the speed round?
Ready.
All
right. Coming in hot. AC30 or JTM 45?
AC30.
All right. Chambered body, yes or no?
Yes.
Overdrive pedal or a cranked amplifier?
Yes. Okay.
Stratocaster or a Jazzmaster?
Jazzmaster.
Tweed Deluxe or Deluxe Reverb?
Deluxe Reverb.
Denim or flannel?
Flannel.
All right. Les Paul Jr. or an Esquire?
For me, Esquire.
Hell yeah.
P90 or a humbucker?
P90.
Set neck or bolt on?
I really don't give a shit, but bolt on.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
And last one, maple or rosewood?
Rosewood.
There you go.
Awesome.
That concludes the speed round.
I hope I did okay.
You nailed it.
No, you did. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just something we throw in there. So
Yeah, tell that to all of my previous professors.
right. We're just I'm surprised we haven't got any more comments about the ongoing decades-old maple versus rosewood debate, but we'll see what happens there.
Well, I guess, as you both know, that's the whole. It's the rapid association or whatever, like what comes to mind. You said P90 or humbucker. If it were me, there are only 3 pickups in my mind that are classic to me that I would use are P90s, humbuckers, and Telly bridge pickups.
Yeah.
For me, Telly neck pickups are pointless. I would rather have a different kind of pickup in that position. I'm not a Strat guy, never will be, never liked the pickups. Yes, I used to own one, and yes, it was a piece of shit.
All right. Well, I think that's it, Sam. I think that's all we got for you, man.
Well, great. This is fun. I thank you so much for doing this. I don't know who's going to be interested other than the 3 parties here.
Maybe you're right about that. Yeah. I gotta
but that's fine. I feel like, yeah. I don't know. Nobody's going to guitar shows because there aren't any. NAMM's canceled. They're going to do a virtual NAMM. So to do something like this, of course I'm going to do it. Now, I didn't know you from Adam, so to speak, but and I'm like, well, glad I did. You guys are good guys. Not everybody out there is a good guy.
And I can speak for both of us. What we're trying to do here. We've actually been fans of your designs for a couple of years, and we've always thought these cardinal instruments are pretty cool. And then we started doing this, and we're trying to bring some more visibility and talk to people who we like and who are doing cool stuff, who are doing original stuff. So,
good. I appreciate that. And you know what? That will get you pretty far because people can see through the negativity and the bullshit. You know what I mean?
We want to do this.